Good morning, everyone. Today we are in a new episode on We Matter Leadership Interview Series, and with me is Mr. Arun Misra, who needs no introduction, but I've got experience and expertise in his role as the CEO and whole-time director of Hindustan Zinc, as the first Indian origin chairperson of International Zinc Association and chairman of CIA Rajasthan State Council. Mr. Mishra exemplifies leadership and innovation in the industry. His impressive career spans over 3 decades, starting at Tata Steel, where he held various strategic positions, showcasing his ability to drive change. Mr. Mishra's academic background includes a degree in electrical engineering from IIT Kharagpur, complemented by diplomas from universities of New South Wales, Sydney, and CDP, France. His diverse experience and educational credentials underscore his profound impact in the industry and his commitment to advancing sustainable practices and operational excellence. Welcome, Mr. Mishra, to the talk show, and time to share your wisdom with the industry.
Thank you so much.
So, starting with my first question, your company has won the We Global Employees Choice Workplace, or it is now We Global's Employees Choice Workplace. Employees have chosen you as one of the wonderful workplaces. What do you think you did differently to be choice workplace?
So a couple of things. One, we have instituted for last 4 years or so a very good communication system that every day, without fail, on the first day of the month, we have a town hall with more than about 2,000, 3,000 people, irrespective of designation, from contractor workers till our senior executives. They are all online attending to a program. We have named the program Sampark. The whole idea is I speak about last month's performance. Then we open up the floor to questioning. And I love to be questioned by all my employees, where we do not try to, screen the questions or try to modify the questions. Anything, and people can ask anonymous questions through the chat facility in the Zoom. So any question that people have in their mind, they can ask me, and we try to answer to the best of our ability. Second, we also reward the best operators of the month, workmen who are like drill operator or a truck driver or a excavator operator, and we reward both the person and the person's spouse for doing a great job in the month, and they are allowed to speak what kind of achievement they have had in the month. We also reward people who have done some innovation in the month and reward them in public. So this is something which breaks the barrier of communication between the person on the front line and the CEO of the company, and also motivates people who get rewarded in that function. So this is one on the communication and reward and recognition portion. On the policy front, we have got a fantastic policy of parenthood policy for ensuring that young people who join our company, and while they work in the company, they become get married or become mothers or fathers. For parenting a child, we have got a fantastic policy mix of maternity leave or paternity leave, mixed with facility for working from home, no discrimination in annual appraisal, last appraisal before the parental leave, that will be continued during the parental leave. So similar such policies we have rolled out, which have been of today's generation, where husband and wife both work. It's of extremely help to the people who work in our company. We also have a gender inclusive policy, and we have got LGBTQ plus policy. In a way, we have employed 16 transgenders in amongst our midst, and the number is growing every month as we are getting more and more talents into us. We have provided for their medical leave for sex transformation surgeries. We have provided for cash facilities for getting that medical attention done. Also, we have provided for 1 lakh, cash help for transgenders to acquire further education or pursue, management education or something to get more qualification so that they can move up the ladder. So many such policies we have, which is combination of transparency, openness, always geared towards moving people up, more inclusive, uh, get more and more people, diverse ideas and thoughts in place, which I think is reflected in people choosing the company to be, their employees' choice workplace. I think that is what is reflected there.
It's wonderful to understand how communication and open communication has played such a significant role in employees choosing a workplace, as well as the focus on policies for the two things have really stood out clearly. And no, I must at this stage mention and congratulate you that Hindustan Zinc Limited has not only won the Employees Choice Workplace Award, but personally, you have been chosen as the Employees Choice CEO, and your CHRO is Employees Choice CHRO. And similarly, at Vedanta Group level, you also have, in addition to these awards, you also have WE Global Employees Choice Workplace for Gen Y, and possibly it is these group policies focused on a younger crowd that is making it a preferred workplace for Gen Y or the millennials. So this is really commendable. And in a manufacturing setup, providing work from home and maternity and paternity leave is probably something that a lot of companies and a lot of professionals can learn from. And my next question would be that how does being a WE Global Employees Choice CEO feel? And what is your leadership style that helps you succeed both in business, because Hindustan Zinc is doing a wonderful business, and also being employee's choice?
So first is the recognition. The recognition itself motivates you because in corporates you work and it's a common human behavior that when you do something, you want a pair of external eyes, a third party or somebody outside the organization to assess your work and tell you whether it is good, bad, ugly, or whatever level it is. And when you get rewarded in the WE Global Employees Choice Award, you feel that yes, what you are doing is in the right direction. And through a transparent survey or through a transparent assessment, somebody else who is not working in the company, somebody else who is outside the organization is recognizing you. That itself motivates a lot, and it gives further encouragement to continue the journey. So I will treat it that way. Second, if you can repeat the second question.
So, what is your leadership style that helps you succeed both in business and being employee's choice CEO?
No, so my leadership style has always been inclusive approach that believe that everyone on the shop floor has something or else to contribute, and everyone is brilliant in his or her own way. It is just that we have to gather them under one common cause, that is show them a vision, motivate them for a bigger purpose, and then every person dedicates his or her own ideas towards that purpose. Of course, there will be somebody who will not be able to perform as well as others. That always happens in any society. But that has moved us. So how we did it in 2020, when we were down with COVID, so I framed the vision for 2025 sustainability goals to put a big map on the board, saying that by 2025 we want to be low carbon emission like this. We want to touch so many million lives, or we want to save water to the extent that we were at that time 2 times water positive. We said that we'll become 5 times water positive. So like that, about 8 goals I put up on the board, communicated widely to all employees, and says that in next 5 years we'll achieve that. When you have such a compelling vision, everybody falls in place. Second, we had not crossed 1 million ton production, so I put everybody together saying that is the first milestone we must cross, all of us together. And we did cross not only once, but also twice, not thrice in succession. So that kind of a compelling vision brings everybody together and then moves them forward. Second, have a transparent communication. The CEO must be approachable, accessible. Anybody and everybody in the organization must feel free to WhatsApp whenever he or she thinks of doing it. Third, I always maintain my personal connect with the people. I have a habit of everyday morning taking the download from SAP people whose birthday is falling that place on that day, whether it is 20, 30, 60 or maybe 100. But wish each one of them birthday through mail myself, typing myself, and ensure that every day I compose a different birthday wish so that people realize it's a personalized wish. It is not somebody's copy paste or somebody, it's not a work being done by my office. So that gives that personal touch of a CEO to every employee should feel every day. There is a CEO who is behind me, talking to me, is in touch with me. Last but not the least, give people opportunity. Young people as many opportunities as possible. Don't care for designation, don't care for sequential promotion. Simply there is a task to be done, somebody is to be selected. Something like Indian cricket team, when you have Dhoni as a captain and Sachin Tendulkar playing under Dhoni. So that is the spirit of modern management style, that anybody with the right skills can become the captain of a department. Doesn't matter somebody much senior, much more experienced will be working under him or her, because that's the way successful teams play, whether it is football, cricket or hockey, and that's how successful teams will work in corporates as well.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, and I think now touch to large number of employees and an absolute teamwork with regardless of hierarchy, designations, experience, depending on the project under consideration, are novel things to be done. The first one, anyway, is more of implementation and practice, while the second one is clearly new, which I haven't found in many companies. Yeah, I did observe this practice in Tata Steel, where you worked earlier, and now in Hindustan Zinc. But a lot of companies are still hierarchical, and the senior guy will lead the team, not the junior guy. And so it's great that companies like Tata Steel and Hindustan Zinc are changing that. And that is a learning that I guess all of us and the younger professionals take away from this discussion and start implementing. What unique strategies did your company follow to ensure retention and engagement of employees in a place like Udaipur?
Yeah. So retention of an employee is a recognition of the work. That for retention, we have various schemes for recognizing talent. We have people being identified through a very methodical process of identification by a third-party HR organization who are called technical stars. That we identify stars, technical stars. We identify people who are given jump in the designations, so that it's called V-Rise, where people raise their hand and say, I want to do that job without any vacancy being created. Anybody and everybody can raise their hand and say, I think I can do that job very well. Then he or she is interviewed, and then about 60 or 70% of them are placed to perform a job that they want to do, and given that option. And that is a very unique practice I have not seen in any corporate. Normally, corporates believes in advertising vacancies in the organization, then through a selection process somebody comes up. But here a person can say, I am in manufacturing, I want to work in commercial, and I think I can buy coal better than others. So go ahead and do it. And people are given that option. I know 10% of them may fail in the new job. They will go back to where they came from, but 90% will succeed. So that is something people can look up to, and then the retentions are better. Of course, we do very kind of disruptive HR policies. Typically, I have seen organizations get stuck to bell curve. They become subservient of the bell curve and they use it to justify why many more talent could not be recognized. Saying that the bell curve, A plus B can only be 45% and then 55% can be this and that. We don't believe that. So we do the rating, we do the bell curve, but then we say A plus B can be 70%. That is, top 2 rating can go to 70% of the people. If they have done well, let them be recognized. We believe that while mathematical calculation may tell you you will get X rupees as bonus, let me add another Y rupees on top of it and give you a top-up bonus. Do these disruptions to have that kind of inquisitiveness in people. What do I do to get a top-up bonus? What do I do to get recognized in a V Rise initiative? What do I do to get recognized as a technical star? So it keeps the people going, and so people always try to. The more you recognize people, the more they want to be recognized. If you stop recognizing people, people also stop wanting to be recognized, and the performance goes down. I think those are the 3 big levers that we use for retention of talent.
So that's absolutely fantastic and disruptive. So the whole concept of people creating a job rather than jobs attracting people is absolutely new and worth emulating. So build an organization around people who can deliver rather than fit people in an organization structure and push them to deliver. So push is always more difficult than pull, and you've created a wonderful pull. So this is again a great learning. Now, all the employee engagement strategies, policies, how did it impact the revenue growth?
How did it impact the
revenue growth, business growth?
Business growth. Of course, as I said, when I joined, I took over as a CEO, we were producing less than 1 million ton production, about 800,000 tons. And then when I brought the whole team together and motivated, and whatever I did, I explained, we crossed 1 million ton. Then we crossed more than 1 million ton. Now we are in the cusp of crossing 1.1 million ton. I'm already working on a project now with my people on how to make it 2 million ton. So that revenue growth, you can see, if I tell revenue growth, it has, of course, as a factor of price and the volume itself, our costs are closer to $1,000, which used to be $1,300, $1,400. Our revenue is about roughly 34,000 crores, which used to be 28,000 crores. Our market cap used to be $16-17 billion. Today, our market cap is more than $30 billion. So the market cap has doubled in last 3-4 years. So that is what is a testament that my shareholders have got faith in this company. They faith that we can deliver. We must have distributed thousands of crores as dividend in last 4-5 years. Maybe some 26,000-27,000 crores have been distributed as dividend only. So all my shareholders, my employees who hold shares of the company, they have gained through this process. So yes, this all of this employee engagement has resulted in that. Only one more insight I will talk. One might have a huge number of HR initiatives for employee engagement, but best employee engagement happens when a CEO recognizes every employee when he or she walks the shop floor. There is no point talking about employee engagement and the CEO walks past people without even saying hello to them or even talking to them. Best engagement is that when the CEO says hello to everyone, meets on the way, and that keeps the engagement going, and that keeps people, performing and delivering results.
What advice would you give to other leaders who want to prioritize employee engagement?
It has to come, it has to come naturally to you, because leadership beyond a point is your reflection of your natural self. Of course, I don't expect every leader to behave in a similar manner, but at least belief in some of the things must be there. One, that engaged employees are happy employees and the most performing employees. Disengaged employees are unhappy employees, and the performance is also poor. This is a core belief. If you believe in this theory, then you will be a good leader. Second is how to execute, how to ensure employee engagement. Every leader has to find his or her own ways of engagement depending upon the situation, depending upon the business that they have, depending upon the challenges that they have. So accordingly, third is every leader must be leading by example. You can't be talking of physical fitness in a company when you yourself are not physically fit. You cannot be talking of mental fitness when you yourself are not mentally happy in front of people. You cannot talk about good behavior or politeness in the organization when you yourself are rough and shouting at anybody and everybody. So leading by example is also an important criteria. So I guess those are the things that the leader has to do to ensure that the engagement takes place.
That's really again very invigorating thoughts. Now the next thing that I want to ask you, and some of it you've already answered, is Gen Y or the millennials, people who are, let's say, between 28 and 44 years of age. How have, and you've won a Gen Y award also, at least at the group level, and you're the significant contributor to the group in terms of number of people and business. How have you ensured the continuous engagement of millennials? And because they are one of the more difficult generations to engage for a lot of companies.
I look at it differently. One, you have to look at the world from their eyes. You cannot be looking at the world from your eyes and hope that they come to your way of thinking, your way of looking at the world. It's not possible. Their ways of looking at the world is their eyes only. Second is priorities in life are vastly different from the background that they are coming from and the background that we came from. People who are born in 60s and 70s have seen a different part of India, different stage of India's development. So their priorities are different. So an air conditioner in the house may be a very great thing for our generation, but for the new generation, an air conditioner in the house is no longer a great thing. The new generation for us who traveled airline for the first time after joining job, the new generation have traveled by air in the childhood itself along with their parents. Many of them are frequently traveling by airline only, and they have not seen second class booking in railways. So their generation is different, and if their generation is different, that one has to appreciate as a leader that their priorities will be different. The concepts of mental health, the concepts of the new world, their ability to accommodate the concepts of LGBTQ, which was a taboo in our generation, but the new generation, they are accustomed to it. The new generations are accustomed to sharing their difficulties openly and in a very upfront manner. So those things, if a leader appreciates and then modifies the whole organization culture around it, then only they will be retained and they will start appreciating the workmen. I know what I'm saying looks easy, but it's not so easy on the shop floor. You will have the organization full of people who are in the late 40s or early 50s who have grown up in families with different set of taboos and values from their background, tolerating today's gender inclusive policy or today's boys and girls coming who are absolutely at par. There is no discrimination between them. Girls are doing mining, girls are doing the jobs in underground. Their hands are dirty with grease and mobile the way earlier men used to be in the department. So you have to accept that that's the reality, and you will have to accept that many of us will be working under a female boss in manufacturing, which was unheard of in earlier days. In mining, very soon we had a mine manager who was a South African lady, and everybody had to work under her. So that's the change one we are all going through. And if you can appreciate this, then perhaps the new generation employees will also. It's more of a mindset than being born in a particular year. best way to have the mindset is being alive, being sensitive to the feelings or the priorities of the new generation, and change your own priorities accordingly. That's very, very important.
That's so nice, and it's really a lot of learning talking to you. How did V Matter help you in engaging people and driving business growth?
No, so one is of course through the recognition, and second is when you assess, give us a feedback, when our people interact with you, a lot of new insights come. And second, you have been doing these various organizations. We get to know what other organizations are doing, how they are being, those who are our peers who are being recognized by you, puts us more pressure, makes us learn their processes, makes us learn what they are doing. I think that adds a lot of value to us.
So nice. Thank you. And what are 3 words that you would use to describe V Matter? That's my last question.
So one, it is very, very motivating, number one. Number two, transformative. And number three, people. These 3 words are most important.
Thank you very much. So I really am loving talking to you, and I would like to continue to talk, but given the time constraints, we have to bring every good thing to an end. So with this, we thank Mr. Misra once again and close this talk show. You can wait for the next episode, and it will appear right here. Thank you, Mr. Misra.
Thank you so much. It was so nice talking to you. Thank you.